test 1 2. Mic test 1 2 1 2 1 2. Live from Let It Fly Sports Bar in Memphis, Tennessee. Actually, Germantown, Tennessee. Excuse me.
Hold on, let me get connected.
Travis Kelce hyperextends his knee in practice today.
It's making me go through an ad.
Of course it is, because we're not the ones putting it on. So, well, there's us.
Perfect.
There's me.
Perfect.
Travis Kelce. Ruined my fantasy season already.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
Phenomenal.
We're cooking. All right, my bad. I didn't mean to step on that. Is there any gas station on the trail, Flash?
Welcome to the Players Club, presented by Bluff City NIL and Coaching for Literacy. Join host Christian Fowler each week as he sits down with players from your hometown school. Now, let's hit the club and get this party started.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Players Club presented by Bluff City NIL and Coaching for Literacy. We're here at Let It Fly Sports Bar in Germantown. You guys are welcome to join us every week for the rest of the football season. So for our first episode, we got linebacker Bryce Edmondson, running back Jay Ducker, quarterback Tevin Carter, and offensive lineman Jonah Gambill. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
We live.
All right, so we made it through. No college football. We got to college football this weekend. Week 1, 56-14 win. Thoughts? What did y'all think about the win?
Shouldn't have got 14 points.
I know Coach Barnes ain't happy with it.
Nah, that's us. Coach Barnes.
That's my plan. I know he ain't happy with it. We gave him points.
Yeah,
Facts.
Yeah.
I think we did pretty good offensively. We did what we had to do. We didn't come out, you know what I'm saying, banging like we should have. But we ended up handling the unexpected, as Coach Cramsey would say, and just did what we had to do in the second half and just took a lead and just blew them out.
Yeah, it was a good mindset going into halftime, too. Like, everybody, I mean, obviously we were up by, like, 2 or 3 scores or whatever, but everybody in the locker room knew that we should have been doing a lot better than what we were, and I think we came out second half and we really, showed what type of offense we can be.
Yeah, I think the defense played really well. We did what we were supposed to do. I think we allowed only less than 100 total offensive yards.
Yep.
So I think we did our job. But
I was on fan control. Shout out to Ambush. Y'all came out. Fans came out.
Facts.
So positives and negatives, you guys have hit on some of them. I got 3 offensive guys with me, obviously, and 1 defensive guy. So some of the positives, some of the negatives are not necessarily negatives, but just things that you want to see improved on this upcoming week against Arkansas State.
Clean.
Yeah, like J Duck said, just playing clean, eliminating turnovers, drive killers, like sacks or whatnot, penalties, holding calls, just playing overall clean football against Arkansas State, because we know that they're going to play us probably as hard as they'll play any other team, just because the games the past couple of years been super close, and they just want to beat us, and they coming out this harsh loss to Oklahoma, 73-0, so they're going to play us pretty hard, so we just got to play clean.
Yeah, we had, 2 holdings inside the red zone, I think. 1 got a touchdown call back. So, if we leave that off the field, we have at least 7 more points there. Probably, I'm trying to think if we had to end up kicking a field goal on the other holding. I think we did, but just right there, eliminating 2 of the penalties we had in the game will automatically, put more points on the board for us. So, playing clean, definitely.
yeah, I think the defense, we had a couple of hiccups, but not too many major ones. So I think we'll just clean up those hiccups, and then next week we'll be looking pretty sharp.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk to you, Bryce, for a second about the defense. 91 yards, no touchdowns allowed. It was pretty much a perfect game for the most part. You getting sacks, getting pressures, tackles for loss. 1 turnover, I think, forced. You forced another fumble that wasn't recovered, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But overall, how do you take this momentum and bring it into the rest of the season? Because it was a great start. A lot of people have been excited about Coach Barnes and what you guys have defensively. So how do you carry the momentum over?
Yeah, I think this game gave us a confidence booster, something to build off of. We're feeling pretty high about ourselves, but can't get too high. So I think we'll have a good challenge this week. So I think we'll be able to do our thing.
From an offensive standpoint, I think the defense, too, has good leaders that, like Jeffrey, Canton, Jalen Allen, Simeon, people like that who are vets around the game and know how to, keep people's morality high, keep the energy high, and just try to keep everybody with a level head, making the right calls and checks, things like that. So I think the defense has good leaders on that standpoint, keeping them all, in check, going to keep them great throughout the season. So.
Yeah, Tevin, you talked about Oklahoma beating Arkansas State 73-0 this past week. I mean, do you guys expect a completely motivated team? Because that's tough. I mean, you go out in week 1 and get blasted like that.
Yeah, for sure. We feel like Ark State will come out there with a mindset that, of course, we just lost, and they got blasted by almost, I'll say, the nation. Their coach went viral for crying on the sideline.
Right.
I'm saying? You got to kind of, how you going to bounce back from a loss like that? And they come, and we got a rival team coming in town like us. I feel like they're going to come in with a lot of energy.
They feel like this is their chance to, get a little bit of their get back. You know what I'm saying? If they, if they did beat us, it'll just be for them, week one was a fluke. We had a bad game, blah, blah, blah. So I think they're definitely going to come in with a lot of energy trying to take us out for sure.
Yeah, Jonah, you talked about like the defensive leaders and what you saw from them and what you've seen through them over the offseason. You guys talk about that offensive guys a little bit more. Like, who are the guys that you saw stand out on defense, and like where are your expectations for the defense this year?
It's the best defense I've seen personally since I've been here at Memphis. This is going on my 4th season, so I think it's the most consistent energy that I felt. And, throughout camp too, we all knew we kind of got them the first few days of camp, but you always know it's coming back. Like, the defense going to get you back eventually, and I think they had a good little run through camp that just showed us, like, okay, even when, like, we thought we had a crazy good offense, like, we're blasting the defense, but no, they came back and shut us down, humbled us real quick one day. So, I don't know. I think the defense is going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure, and it's not going to be, a lot of people talk about Memphis defense, this, that. I think it's going to be a good year for Memphis defense, offense, just the team in general. So,
and I think they're a really fast offense too.
Yeah.
Like, everyone on the field is running, and they always run to the ball.
I feel like compared to years past, we have a lot of depth this year from the D-line, linebackers, and DBs. Yep. We have a lot of depth, so I think that'll help us out a lot in the long run.
Yeah, depth for sure.
So as them, what they saw from the defense, Bryce, what did you see from the offense this year? I know obviously having a veteran quarterback, but a lot of new pieces as well with Demir and Towski, and then Rock coming into a prominent role this year, Blake Watson as well. So what did you see from the offense throughout the offseason?
Yeah, I saw that we were able to add a lot of playmakers. We had a whole bunch of people do something special with the ball. I think they'll continue to shine, to show. So I think that we surrounded Seth with really good playmakers.
So we're 1 week into the season now, so we're not too far removed from fall camp and summer workouts and all that. And I think that's important because you guys are talking about leadership and like what you saw in the off season. So what was the off season this year like? Because a lot of people say that's where teams are built, that's where the chemistry is built. So what was this off season like for you guys?
Grind.
For me, it was more so like this is my 2nd year. The team just was coming together more than my first year. You know what I'm saying? Last year, I feel like the locker room wasn't as close as it is now. And I just feel like this offseason was an opportunity for us as a team to come together and work hard and just see who was about what. Because I'm going to say that it's players on the field that we're not surprised who doing what they did, because I've seen them since January put work in, or a guy to come in the summer, seen them summer months put work in. So it's no surprise to who balling out there. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The running back room, it's a stacked room. But I also think it helps us a lot because we're always competing against each other, and we often do things with the ball. So I think it just makes our room a lot better because we're always competing every day. Even like after week 1, like week 2, it's like who can be that dude to make a play on offense at practice this week.
Yeah. You hit on chemistry a little bit, Tevin, just like seeing this team be tighter this year. You guys have played ball forever. So how important is that locker room when guys are locked in, guys are hanging out, like guys are legit friends, and it's not just like, okay, we're in and then we're out, like we're away from football? How important is it for everybody to kind of be locked in together?
Well, that's super important. Like, it's really just come down to trust. Can you trust the other 10 guys on the field with you? You know what I'm saying? Can he trust Jonah to make the block? He don't really know that if he don't really just hang out with Jonah off the field and get to know who he is. Like in fall camp, we had this thing we did like accountability partners. We got to sit down and eat with a player on the team that coaches feel like you didn't really talk to as much. And just getting to know your teammates is a huge step, I feel like, in chemistry.
Yeah, chemistry is everything really for a football team because, tennis, golf, all that, even basketball really is kind of like, basketball is a team sport, but you can kind of turn it into a solo sport when you need to if you're really like that. But, football, even if you're the best quarterback, running back, anything in the world, if the O-line don't block, then the play's done. And same with if you got the best O-line in the world, but you ain't got a running back that can see, has good vision and can't hit the hole hard and fast, that, you're just not going to be a good team. And I think chemistry, trusting people, trusting the guys around you, it's definitely, we took a step up with that this year. I think I'm definitely closer with a lot more of my teammates. Like, I've had good friends, close friends throughout the last few years, but I feel like I have more close friends and more guys on the team that I enjoy hanging around and getting to know this year than any other year I've been here. So.
Yeah, a lot of people, talk about expectations and stuff like that. And talking to some of the players before, like, I know you guys don't pay attention to what's going on outside. Like, it's all about what's in the building and what you guys see on a daily basis because no one else sees that. Yeah. So what are the expectations for this year? And it doesn't have to be something specific like, conference championship or whatever, but what are y'all's, I guess, individual expectations of yourself and then for the team as a whole? What do y'all see?
The conference championship.
Yeah.
That's on there?
I mean, that has to be.
Yeah.
Like,
but
if that's not your goal, then I don't know.
But it's like more so, I say go 1-0 every week.
Yep.
Just do that. Just win the next game. You know what I'm saying? 24-hour rule. Play the next game. Win that game. Just keep going. Just go 1-0 each week. And that's just the goal. Play, like I said, play clean. And just do what we got to do.
Do your job.
Every week's a Super Bowl week, so we got to prepare. It's the last game of the season, the most important one of your life. If you ain't preparing like that every week, then you're not going to be successful.
How does that change the mentality when you prepare like that? I know a lot of teams and talk to a lot of guys that prepare in different ways and have different mindsets. But when you do that as a team and it's like we got to go 1-0 every week, not worried about the next week or the next opponent, we're not overlooking anybody. How important is that to have, like you said, like the Super Bowl mentality every week?
Yeah, I mean, it's very important because, college football, more or less, is really like a full-time job. And a lot of people, they'll look at it like a job that I have to go to, stuff like that. Like, dang, like, we got to practice at 7 a.m. this morning. Like, we got to get up, do all this. So I think when you start looking at it from a positive perspective and you just realize every day is a new opportunity to make yourself better and your team better, and you just start thinking about, what's the other team doing to out-prepare me? Like, what the D lineman I'm going against, what's he doing today? How much film of me is he watching compared to how much film of him I'm watching? What's he doing better than me today that I could be doing better right now? Why am I laying around watching TV when this guy's probably out-preparing because they just got beat 73-0? They don't want that to happen again. So, yes, sir, it's definitely mentality for sure.
Yeah, speak on that film watching. I got speak on that. It kind of drives me crazy sometimes that you don't know what the next person is doing.
Yes.
Like, am I doing enough? And that's kind of a crazy mindset to have, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because it just keep me going. Just I watched an hour of film, maybe watched an hour and 2 minutes of film. Let me try to get an hour and 15, and it just keeps stacking up film and just because you don't know.
That's definitely my pet peeve is when I just did something 6 times and you're the guy behind me. You go in, first play, you mess it up. I'm like, what were you doing back there for 15 minutes while we were up here doing stuff? Like, I don't get how, I don't know. But that's one thing I think that also the team has got better on is people not, looking around, not doing nothing, paying
being
attention.
locked in.
Yeah, I feel like people are more locked in, definitely. So, that's another reason we have more depth this year. We have smarter players.
Yeah, Jay and Bryce are talking about film over here, like the mental aspect of it. I guess they're talking about getting the mental edge and like being more prepared. How much goes into that? Like, we don't see that. Like, fans don't see that. Media doesn't see like what happens behind the scenes. So how much goes into the mental side of it and the preparation, whether it's film or taking care of your body or whatever it is?
It's a lot, obviously. It's a lot of mental, and I'll say the more mental you do, the easier it is on Saturdays. And it's just like you're watching the film while you're playing the game, so you kind of expect certain things, see certain tendencies that defenses have, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll say a whole lot goes into it. Once you watch film, you obviously know what a certain player likes to do. You get tendencies. And you also learn how to beat that player. So I say a lot of film watching is essential. Like you need to be watching film most of the time outside of football, but taking care of your body is important as well. If you're not available, then your ability is not really worth anything. So I think that.
What you trying to say?
He said what you trying to say.
A lot goes into it outside the football field. So.
Yeah, but I'll say about another thing. You definitely probably watch more film than you practice.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, you talked about, you hit on a little bit, and we're about to go to a quick break here in just a minute, but you hit on, like, when you get out there and you see something that you watched in film, how rewarding of a feeling is that when you see it and you're like, I know exactly what this team is doing right now?
It's by the best feeling. It's like
it's the
all
best
the
feeling
hard
you
work.
can have.
It's like, I knew I wasn't doing this for there's
nothing.
a reason. Yeah, there's a reason I'm doing this.
Yeah, like,
That's a really good feeling.
during practice, during the week, they're trying to throw all the crazy looks that
Right.
they can at you, just like constantly.
Worst case
like,
scenarios.
Yeah, worst case scenarios
Yeah.
constantly. So when the worst case scenario happens and you pick it up, it's so lit.
Like, shout out trains.
I'm talking like the
Shout out Big
O-line, like we
Crown,
get a
man. Shout out
crazy
Big Crown.
twist or like a tight front, double blitz, like stuff like that. Like, oh, we know this guy's cheating over because the Cats could, like, stuff like that. You're just like, yeah, like, come on. When it happens, you're like,
I watch film too, bro. Yeah, like.
Thanks.
Same thing for you, Bryce, on the defensive side of the ball. It just makes it so much easier when you see it.
For sure, and like he said, it's exciting once you actually see it on the field and you're able to adjust and know what's happening.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to hear from some sponsors, and we'll be back on the other side with Jonah, Tevin, Jay, and Bryce.
Everyone knows about the football. Everyone knows about the football game on Saturday, but the Classic is also known for the total experience, the entire weekend. So much going on. How important are those things to the Classic experience?
That was part of the idea, to bring not only entertainment into it, but to bring the community into it. Each one of those events has a community component. Parade in Orange Mound, high school ballad of bands in Whitehaven, the fashion show with the Coalition of 100 Black Women.
Right.
It's about the community, and that's what we always have done. So those things, none of those things have changed. We've had stabilizing of events pushed and promoted by community organizations. And that's what we've done, and that's what we continue to do. And as long as there's a Classic, you always have that part of it.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Every single opportunity with all this realignment nonsense going on, every single opportunity this year, especially at home, is a way to show power conferences that
Without a
you're
doubt.
worthy.
Without
You know what I
a
mean? Like, not only the on-field product, I think for the team, winning those shows your value. But if you have
Atmosphere.
35, 40,
Yes.
45 deep every single game, that means something. That really does.
Yes.
Even if you win 10 games and there's no one there, it's like how...
Then you're not attractive to
You're not
to
showing
bigger
value.
conferences. You're not.
As much as the product has to show its value, I think the fan base does too. You have
Yes.
to show your value.
Yes, yes, because guess what comes from butts and seats? Money.
Yep.
What is all of this about at the end of the day?
Money.
That is it.
Yep.
So if you show you can fill a stadium, have people engaged from a television audience, and win games, that's the secret sauce.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Sutton Smith out of the backfield or the slot. He's a playmaker. Get him the ball.
Is this like 4th and 5 on the 5-yard line? Or
Yeah, I think that's that's the big question is where are we at in the field, right? Like,
doesn't matter. You need 5 yards.
Yeah, I think it does matter though.
It does matter
because the easy answer for me personally, I think it'll be a Lanphier.
That is a Kevon Davenport type answer.
That is you forget how big he is, and he's not like the flashy tight end of yesteryear that we've had.
I think if TJ at this point last year had said, I don't want to say his name, but our previous tight end, we probably had the same reaction.
Yeah, I think that he is going to be better than expected. I don't think it'll be a 607-yard receiving tight end type of situation. I don't think it's going to be.
I also don't know that you need him to be that.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Bluff City Media and Bluff City NIL are proud partners of Coaching for Literacy, a Memphis nonprofit using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. When you donate to Bluff City NIL through Coaching for Literacy, your gift is 100% tax deductible. This partnership is a win-win-win. Tiger student athletes win in the NIL landscape. Coaching for Literacy wins by engaging Tiger student athletes in this monumental cause. And most importantly, elementary students in Memphis receive support to become strong readers. To donate today, visit coachingforliteracy.org/bluff-city.
I was over here 2 weeks.
What's up, everybody? We are back. You missed the guys munching down on these appetizers for real.
Shout out, let it go.
But I want the fans to get to know everybody better. I'm gonna start with you, Jonah.
Right.
Just a little bit about your journey. How'd you get here? How'd you get to Memphis?
I don't know. Nah, it was so in high school. I remember like my junior year, just thinking, you know, like, dang, like, am I about to start getting some offers? Like, what's happening? So I remember my first offer, Coastal Carolina came to watch me at practice, and they didn't know who I was, and they just said I practiced so well that they wanted to offer me. So that was my first offer. So I was like, oh, like, all right. And then what really stood out about Memphis and Coach Silverfield is because he was the O-line coach at the time, so he was my area in recruiting. That's when Coach Norvell was still head coach. That was 2019. So what I noticed about him is he really didn't offer me right away, which most coaches did. You know, it'd be like, hey, this is Coach blah, blah, blah from here. Like, we like what we see. We want to give you an offer. So I was like, okay. And then I had bigger offers at the time, like some Power 5. So when Coach Silverfield hit me up and, like, didn't offer me but kept hitting me up and talking to me, it kind of just threw me off, like, like, why hasn't this guy offered me? Like, is he not going to offer me? Is he just playing with me? But he really just wanted to get to know me first, and I think that's what went a long way with me is he texted me literally every day trying to get to know me, just trying to learn about my life, the type of person I am, and how I would fit into the program before he just threw me an offer. And once he did throw me an offer, I came and visited, and I was between like here in Louisville and South Florida, stuff like that, and Silverfield definitely won me over for sure because of the type of guy that he is, and so yeah, that's how I got here today.
Couple state championships too, right? you didn't mention that.
I mean, yeah, we definitely. Trevor Lawrence was my quarterback, so you know he had a pretty good little quarterback over there. But yeah, some state championships definitely helped with recruiting. So.
How many you had?
2.
Tevin, you're the one local guy we got here. So how did you get here? How did you stay here?
I got a long story.
Let it go.
So first I was homeschooled. I was taught there. I was homeschooled since probably like 7th grade. Just because I was a little bad, kind of. And I was kind of behind, and I like to have like one-on-one teaching to kind of help me out. But I could work in a classroom. It's just at that age of my life, I needed like some one-on-one help. So I ended up being homeschooled. If y'all want to look at my school, it's Peer Academy. And so in the 8th grade, I started my first varsity game. I started in the 8th grade. I was a quarterback. That was my first year playing quarterback. So like most kids, I haven't been playing quarterback long, probably 6-7 years. Some quarterbacks have played their whole life. And I had an O-lineman on my team, Chris Morris, who was like highly recruited. Everybody knew who Chris was. So he set the standards of how it was. He had schools coming in. And so the first school that came in was South Carolina. And they came in, they watched him. And like my coach was like, you need to be watching my 8th grade quarterback. Like he's the next big thing. And so they watched me throw a little bit, sling it around, watched a little bit of my tape. And they called, it probably wasn't even 20 minutes later, he had sent the tape to the head coach and he was like, offer. Like, so they offered me. And it came with like a big ordeal. Like they were saying like the first 8th grader in Memphis to get an offer from an SEC school, started off, whatnot. And then a couple days later, Tennessee called and they offered me. And then my third offer was Memphis. And it was Norvell, Coach Jones, Coach Searfield, all them kind of known me since I was 14 years old. And years went on. I kept doing good. I played at Freedom Prep High School, and coaches then said that my level of competition wasn't high enough because one game I threw 9 touchdown passes. So that's OD.
Little flex.
It's OD to throw 9 touchdown passes in a game. And so the next year, they're like, you need to move up. So I said, okay. So me, Chris, my brother, we all kind of got together, and we decided on Central. So Central was the thing. We did that in the spring, went to Central, played the spring, and TWSAA ended up calling after the spring, was like, you ineligible. You can't play in the state of Tennessee. So that was like tough because I done played in Central system for a whole spring, and I'm thinking going into a season, that's where I'm going to be at. I had built a relationship with like plenty of guys on the team. And so we had to make this big move, had to find a school. I almost came to play at Georgia at, is it Valdosta?
Valdosta State?
Yeah, I was going to play in Georgia just because that's what thing was, or IMG. I was going to try to go play IMG. And my school ended up hitting us up, West Memphis, they hit us up and was like, they looking for a quarterback and O-lineman, D-lineman. My brother was a D-lineman. But you got to move here. I had to move to West Memphis, like had to clear the house, it was crazy. So we ended up playing first game, I did okay. Second game rolled around, turned my ACL. I tried to hurdle somebody. They clipped me, knocked my kneecap out of place. I'm done. Sophomore season, over. So I was like, okay. So our head coach at West Memphis the next year ended up leaving. He became the AD. And I didn't really want a new coach over there. So I said I was going to come back and try to play in the city. Kirby is where I would try to play at. So I tried to play at Kirby. Everything was going smooth. Coach Fowler was a quarterback-friendly guy. I was probably going to have like 60 passing attempts a game. Just air raid. COVID hit. Whole Shelby County can't play football. No public schools playing football. So the school I was at, Pierre, that's when my coach decided that he was going to make a football team because we never had a football team. It was only school for like us three, me, my brother, and Chris. And so we just schooled. And he said, I'm going to get a football team. So he took a lot of Shelby County kids' schools and just brought them to his school and said, I'm just going to help y'all for y'all senior year, play ball, get y'all some film, try to get y'all to college. So we did that. It wasn't really good the first year. We had like 4 games. We played Christian Brothers, MUS, Bride Chris. We played 3 games, really. That's it. And we lost all 3. And so next year rolled around, senior year. Pierre kind of a big name, kind of in the city. People kind of knowing what it is. Kids come in trying to, you know what I'm saying, play for Pierre, play for me, play with me. And, I mean, my senior year was decent. It was okay. We didn't win much, but we didn't win much. But it was just like more so like an opportunity for like kids to play because a lot of my teammates was like reclassed. You know what I mean? Like all of them was either 12th grade, but had another like year to play high school ball, and that's what they did. Like me, I played 6 years of high school. Like I was tired of high school. I've been playing since I was in the 7th grade. I was tired of it.
Yeah.
And so then rode around. Then college recruitment, of course, was during this whole time was just picking up. It fell off my sophomore year. I tore my ACL. So I went to all these different camps. It got picked back up. All these different schools started hitting me back up. And then I think senior year, I ended up going to Elite 11 and all this different type of fun stuff I did. And schools was still just trying to hit me up. But I was a late quarterback commit. A lot of Qs in my class committed super early, January, February, March. I didn't commit to August. So like a lot of the big schools was kind of like booked up. Like they had like, I got a guy. But you, if he decommit, it's you. So I'm like, okay. So I ended up coming down. I had Tech, Ole Miss, and Memphis. And I was just like kind of torn because, of course, I want to play for Lane Kiffin. You know what I'm saying? He's quarterback friendly for real. But his name was in every job I seen, like USC. Maybe he'd take the Bama job. Maybe he'd take this job. So I was like, all right, if I go here, he's not going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be there with me. And then Tech was more so like a business decision. kind of like, all right, this the coaching staff third year. They're not looking too good. You know what I'm saying? After this year, they probably be fired. So this is not really gonna be a team for me. And I thought about Memphis. I'm like, this was NIL had first started playing a part, and I was like, Memphis won't be too bad for me. Coach Johns was pretty cool. He was an okay guy, but Coach Cramsey is a way better guy, in my opinion. And so when I found out that they hired Coach Cramsey, you know what I'm saying, I was hyped. I was like, this is my guy. And I ended up sticking with Crams, and like I said, the rest is history.
Here we are. You gonna top that, Jay?
Nah, I'm gonna make mine brief real quick then.
Jay, you're the only transfer we got here.
So I started at NIU, hit the transfer portal. It was kind of late because we just got done with the Cure Bowl. I ended up wanting to play a bowl game because you just never know if you're gonna get to a bowl game again.
Yeah.
So did the bowl game, came after that. So I had to do a couple like quick visits like right after the bowl game. Got to Memphis, seen the facilities and like just kind of like the atmosphere of like Memphis, the city Memphis. Kind of just fell in love with it, and then also just knowing like the background of the running backs here is like it's RBU like still in the NFL right now. It's just like
everywhere.
If you're a running back, you're kind of a fool not to come to Memphis if you get an opportunity.
Yeah.
And then I like the way the hospitality from the coach that I was getting. They loved me. So then actually like the same day I visited, I ended up committing at the end of the visit.
Wrapped it up then.
Ready to get to work again.
Got you, Bryce, Nashville guy.
Yes, sir.
I'm assuming Silverfield was your primary?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So he was the O-line coach when I first started to talk to Memphis. It was going into my junior year of high school. I came to a camp, which is where I came to the mega camp with a whole bunch of college coaches, a lot of kids there, where I met Coach Silverfield. Like I said, he was the O-line coach at the time. September 1st, my junior year, when coaches can like reach out to you, whatever. So I was hearing from Memphis and other schools at the time. And after the season, I was able to come to a game day visit, the SMU game, which was
that was my visit.
It was live. I was in the stands. It was packed.
Yeah.
College game day. So that was a
fire.
Yeah, that really stuck out to me. And then after the season. In like January, February, I came on a visit. Coach Silverfield was the head coach now, and he offered me right as I was about to leave for my visit. Then COVID hit a couple months later. Memphis was one of the schools that I've been to a couple of times. Coach Silverfield and the staff were really good recruiters, genuine, and I just felt comfortable. My parents felt comfortable with me coming here, so that's how I ended up here.
All right, guys, we got about 3 minutes left, so I want to talk about each of y'all's individual position groups. We'll start with Bryce since he just left it off. So the linebackers, really yourself, Chandler, Jeff, kind of the leaders of that unit. What do you think overall about this linebacker core for the season?
I think we have a great linebacker core. We're smart, athletic, and move, physical. I think we all make each other better. And yeah.
Jay, you got a lot of folks in that running back room. Yourself, Sutton, and Blake, who combined for 5 touchdowns over the weekend. Travion Hargrove, like the list goes on and on. It's a very deep and talented backfield. What you think?
Shoot, it's a fun time being with them. Like we're not really competitive with each other because we know that like, when we all get in, we got all the chance to score. And like, if we're competitive with each other to a certain standard, like when we have practice, we all want to be like that guy, and that's like kind of who we always been though. So I mean. It's not really personal or nothing. Like we all love each other. We hang out outside of we have like a really tight group, I would say, running backs. But like I said, it's kind of cool because like we all kind of bring different things to the running back room, and we all can kind of learn off each other.
Yeah. How do you before we get to Tevin real quick? How do you balance like the competition of it with also being excited for each other when players are having good games? Because obviously everybody can't get the same amount of snaps or the same amount of reps, but like. When y'all are tight, like you're saying, you hang out outside of football. Like how do you balance the competitiveness and then being excited for each other when y'all all succeed?
Because there's only one running back like position, so I mean we can't all be in there. So like when you see them going, you want them to eat. Like you want them to have a good time. Like make sure they're doing what they want. And if you don't see something, like you see something that they don't maybe see, you're gonna talk about it with them.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. Yeah, it's not really. it's a different type of competitive because like I said, like we're not deciding who's going to be in there, like,
Right.
Because once we're in there, then it's like whoever's in, let's eat and let's win. Like at the end of the day, like I said, we don't really. Oh, I don't really have personal goals like that because I always want to say like the conference championship, and then whoever the coaches think is going to help at that like situation with like our different abilities, then I want them to put them in.
Yep. Tevin, give us a lowdown on the quarterback room.
We super tight. We always was a super tight group. Me and Seth that's probably my homeboy. He one of the closest people I'm closest to on the team actually. Just got a beer around him every day. And he pushed me just like I pushed him. Just like he was watching some tape one day, and he was like, "Oh, that was a good ball." I was like, "Nah, it could have been better." You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm gonna coach you hard. Or I throw a ball in practice, and he'd be like, "Nah, that ain't you." You know what I'm saying? We just kind of help each other, and like Kay, Cunningham, Harris, all of us, we just kind of feed off each other, and we be excited for each other. Just like Doug said, it's only really one quarterback who could be in the game unless you. Jim Harbaugh and play two cues. You know what I'm saying? Well, we don't do that. So you got to know your role on the team. You know what I'm saying? What are you? Like, they always tell me, like, oh, you a shoestring, you a chin strap away. So, of course, we all want to win. So, Seth going to always try to make sure I'm prepared enough to go in the game and make sure the team still win. You know what I'm saying? That the show still go on. And I'm going to do the same thing for the guy in front of me. And that's just how it's going to go.
Yeah. Jonah, a lot of eyes on the offensive line room, a lot of new faces in there as well. Break it down for us.
I love them.
You love it?
I love it.
Facts, that's the good thing though about the whole offense, not just the O-line, is I feel like we're all boys this year. Like for real, like running backs coming in for meetings every now and then, us joking around, seeing different things, seeing what they look for on film. But O-line room as a whole, I'm excited. We got McConnell Pounders, left tackle, who, he really should have played a lot more than he did last year, but he's grown up a lot since then, and he's made tremendous strides. He's just phenomenally talented and naturally gifted. Me at left guard with him, I feel comfortable with him at tackle just because of how good of a player he is, and then us just communicating every play. We have a good relationship, talking things out. Okay, who'd he tag? This backside. Okay, watch this. Like with the motion going out, he might lock. Like just stuff like that. And Jacob Lights, one of the smartest players I've ever played with. Identifies everything for us the whole game. He'll change stuff. He'll see stuff coming. If we see something coming, we can tell him. He'll be like, okay, yeah, you're right. Actually, check this. He's brilliant, a brilliant football player, and a good center, good leader as well. Davion Carter, the right guard, he's a fool. That's my dog, though. He's definitely one of the funniest people I've ever met, but also one of the best football players I've ever met. And he's undersized for sure, so a lot of people, think, oh, like, look at little bro, like we're about to get off on him, like stuff like that. But he's actually clamps, like, and he's stronger. Like he's probably the strongest person on the team as well. So he's moving stuff, he's clamping stuff. Davion's just all around great player, and he's way smarter than you would think he is. Just like the way he talks, he talks so much, you never know what's serious with Jeyvon. But he's one of the smartest players I've ever been around. Watches more film. Like, it's crazy. I'll be like, I thought I watched a good amount of film, but seeing him, he's right in from practice. He ain't even showering, getting up, nothing. Film's already up. He's watching it, so I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll watch it with him. Like, but what y'all laughing about, bro?
I don't know about the not shower.
That's what I was going to say. You said straight, no shower.
He do be showering, but it's just like when he comes in from practice, like he's going to watch the film before he does anything. He'll sit in the locker, full gear, watching film, but he's definitely one of the smartest. And then right tackle, Scooter, Xavier Hill, coming from LSU, great guy to be around. Just friendly, funny, good player. He's big, he can move, athletic, strong. He's a real good right tackle. And then Terrence McLean as well for right tackle. With them two, they've been battling out. Terrence is a dog. His arms are ginormous. Like he's insanely strong. He's athletic, and they're still battling it out. But I think we have good depth, and we have good relationships and good personality. And our coach this year as well, we had a coaching change with Coach Myers, and I think it's been beneficial for us. Just I don't know. I feel like we're going to run the ball a lot this season. We're going to run it well and get back to RVU like it was in the past, putting backs in the league. If we can have 2, 3, 1,000-yard backs. I mean, that would be. We get the backs out into the league, and like we were saying, if you mess around and get the back 2, 3 backs with 1,000 yards, you'll mess around and get yourself out of there too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be like, well, it's starting from somewhere, so where's that at? Okay, let's look up front.
Yeah.
And I mean, we definitely have some dogs there, so I'm definitely excited about this season with us for sure.
All right, guys, we're going to take one more quick break. We're going to hear from some sponsors, and on the other side, we'll wrap it up and get these guys out of here.
Word.
Bluff City Media and Bluff City NIL are proud partners of Coaching for Literacy, a Memphis nonprofit using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. When you donate to Bluff City NIL through Coaching for Literacy, your gift is 100% tax deductible. This partnership is a win-win-win. Tiger student athletes win in the NIL landscape. Coaching for Literacy wins by engaging Tiger student athletes in this monumental cause. And most importantly, elementary students in Memphis receive support to become strong readers. To donate today, visit coachingforliteracy.org/bluff-city.
On offense, I'll say Blake Humsky. I think that his ability to be the slot guy, because I think the outside guys are going to kind of open up a little bit more for him on the inside. Plus, we've seen him do some serious work already at Toledo.
I'm going Sutton. We've heard a lot about him. Seen him in a lot of the clips they're posting. Just his shiftiness, his ability to make plays, make people miss, change of direction. How they're going to use him in multiple areas, handing off in the backfield, receiving, putting him in the slot potentially, give him the opportunity to return kicks. I think he's the X factor.
Simeon seems like the easiest possible
he's a
answer.
coach on the field.
Yeah, Simeon seems like the easiest answer there. No, I think it's going to be Simeon Blair, but I think it will be in tackles. I obviously don't want your safety to lead the team in tackles.
That is a superlative. Don't start talking about that yet.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
We starting the campaign, man. We got to give my boy an all-star weekend, too, man.
BLJ, all-star. Let's make it happen. 2024, 2025, 2026. We're going to keep that party rolling.
And then we going to smile and wave.
Smile and wave. You want to know where I really want to be at?
Where?
Man, NBA 2K.
Oh, yeah.
Let's throw it out there in the atmosphere.
Man.
NBA
You know what?
2K.
I know someone that can make that happen. Peter Edmondson, who I used to do my radio show with.
Okay.
He's in NBA 2K.
For real?
Yeah, and he can make that happen, bro.
Man.
Like when you play the game, Peter's Twitter pops up. Like it's one of the people who's tweeting about my career player.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he can make that happen, bro.
Man, I just want to be on my NBA 2K when you come on. Like, yo, it's your best hype man, BLJ. It's time for NBA 2K. We had yesterday's game. You see the lineup right here.
Yeah.
Let's see how you playing today. Let's make some. See? Come on, 2K.
Yeah, there it is, man. I love it, bro. I love it for sure.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
The last time they had players with that level of shiftiness, it's a different look, like it's a different kind of movement that Blake Watson and Sutton Smith have that we haven't seen in Memphis since Kenny. And the dynamic ability that adds is huge because not only can you use them between the tackles, outside the tackles, but they've both shown that they can be effective receivers. I think Blake had 5 catches for 37 yards in this game on top of his 75 rushing yards.
3 touchdowns in the first half, yeah.
Right. So we've been high on this backfield saying that they have weapons. Still, this took that to the next level.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, guys, we are back. We're going to wrap this up real quick. First off, I just want to thank all the guys here with me, Jonah, Tevin, Jay, Bryce. I appreciate it. You guys have been awesome. I want to thank Let It Fly for having us out, for giving us great food. Like I said, you guys are welcome to join us the rest of the year, every single Tuesday, 7 o'clock. I want to thank everyone that came out tonight to check it out and hear from the guys. Also want to shout out Bluff City NIL and Coaching for Literacy for making this possible. So we appreciate it. We'll see you back here next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.